Are you ready? Okay. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, they can try, but this old dog don't do tricks. Hi, and welcome to Mike's Bytes, a bi-weekly commentary on the human condition. And this is episode 2, Old Dogs and New Tricks. And this handsome little devil is Chucky Boy. He's a Chihuahua Staffordshire Bull Terrier American Eskimo mix. He's a Chihuahua Staffordshire Bull Terrier American Eskimo mix. And we know this because we had his DNA tested. Yeah, he's a mutt. Just like his old man. Yeah. And he's about 10 years old, which in the small breed world makes him about 60 in human years. Yeah, but he's a young 60, just like his old man, too. And he ain't big on doing tricks, but he has learned a few things. And the older he gets, the more it seems he's figured out how to make me do tricks when he wants something. Fortunately, he only wants food and love, don't you, Bytes? Yeah. Just like his old man. Which leads us to the age-old question, do we take after our dogs or do our dogs take after us? Who cares? Actually, I think what keeps me and this good old boy feeling young is the love of a good woman, namely my wife Nancy, who just happens to be a fantastic cook. Now, a week ago, my brother Tom announced that he was being laid off. Yeah, he's got a dog too. We're dog people. You know, it wasn't a consequence of the pandemic or the financial crisis it's creating. The company told them they were going in a different direction. Don't you love that expression? However they say it, what it really means is that they're moving the party, and they're not telling him where because he's no longer one of the cool kids. C'est la vie. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Tom's immediate concern was finding the next job. But he was worried, saying, who would be interested in an old dog like him? Trying to find work in the midst of this crisis with all its social isolation, well, that's another challenge too, isn't it? There is a big demand for people to help out with the crisis, but, when that's over, it's going to be real tough finding work. And it might be for a long time. Tom's not quite ready for retirement. He's just a couple years younger than I am. And he admits, with all the other stuff going on in his life, he hasn't been quite up to date on the latest changes in the industry. And he's old enough to have more than one career, but restarting an old career seems even less unlikely. But I'm not too worried about my brother's predicament. I've seen him land on his feet more than once before. He says, we helplings are survivors and always will be right up until the end. Okay. Don't tell him this, but I actually admire my little brother. This isn't the first time a company has pulled the rug out from under him and his wife, and yet through it all, they've stayed active members of the community, and they've managed to buy a home, go on vacations, do some traveling, all the while putting 3 kids through college. Despite all the crap the world has tossed at them, they've been living the Canadian dream, such as it is. Still, it really peeves me off to see people working so hard to prepare for the next phase of their lives, only to have circumstances beyond their control toss a rock at them when the finish line is just within reach. Oh, don't worry about me, by the way. Self-employed people like owner-operators and other small business owners, we can't be laid off. Not that it would matter to the government, even if they could. So, there's few safety nets for the risk takers. But who wants to play it safe, eh? We might work for years and not make any money. We might go broke, which has happened. They might be forced to close up shop and lay off a bunch of other people, but they can't lay themselves off. I'm actually in a unique position where being an old dog with just a few tricks can actually help. The company I'm contracted to drive for only pays me when I'm working and making them money. And I work on a commission, so there's no need to lay me off. And if they ever did close up shop or go in a different direction, well, people are always going to need stuff. And as long as I'm willing and able to haul all for fuck all, there will be work for me somewhere. Actually, being an old dog with a proven track record, in this case, actually gives me an advantage over the young and stupid, especially when it comes to smaller carriers who can't afford their newbies making big mistakes. But these are uncertain times, aren't they? The future seems less clear than ever before. What worked in the past might not work now. Mind you, what didn't work in the past just might. What it boils down to is us dogs, both young and old, will need to be open to trying some new things. Like they say in the Truck Driver University, so expect the unexpected. That's not so easy for some of us older dogs, especially if you spend a lifetime learning to be happy with your life just as it is. Some say it's being set in your ways. Others call it staying in your comfort zone. Either way, the older you get, the less energy you have. The call of the recliner gets louder and louder with each passing year, doesn't it, buddy? And in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with staying within your comfort zone, as long as you're comfortable in it. You know, you see those ads, those vacation ads, you know, the ones with the smiling robots, they go, please stay within your comfort zone. And I think to myself, hey, that's where I want to go. To each his own, I guess. Like the Boy Scout motto says, however, be prepared. Yeah, take it easy, buds. There are so many things we should be prepared for, isn't there? Our media is always filling up with people who are crying the end is nigh, or it will be nigh if we don't do this, that, or the other thing. Sometimes they're not wrong. Throwing a little, well, it can't happen to me, and a little touch of NIMBYism, and our tendency to avoid the uncomfortable truths, and sure as hell has no fire hoses. Sooner or later, something will jump up and burn you in the ass. And it's the one you don't see coming that always gets you. So are there any tricks those old dogs can learn when we get too tired to run with the big dogs? And that porch looks like a nice place to take a nap? What can we do when we spent a big chunk of our adult lives preparing for something only to discover we may have been wasting our time? Well, I don't know. For you, I can tell you what I've been doing. It might work for you, it might not. But here goes. For one thing, I have, to some degree of success, gotten rid of that expectation of what the future should be. Nowadays, I figure as long as I can let go of that attachment and stay positive and healthy, considering the condition my condition is in, then I can say sarah, sarah, what will be, will be. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that song. You know, and the rest of it is just building up a good set of metrics for the day-to-day, like following the golden rule. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Hey, buds. Yeah, there is more than one golden rule, you know. And there's a few other things we do, eh? Like having a spending plan and living within our means, and not being foolish with the debt, at least trying to anyways. Chances are, if you need to borrow it to have it, then you really don't need it. We try eating less, but eating the best. You know, getting a little bit of exercise when we can, eh, buds? And remember, there is a time and place for everything. It says, for example, when the Sandman calls, ignore those voices going off in your head. But, well, at least for me, anyways. You know, the world won't change much overnight. Our problems will be patiently waiting for us to wake up in the morning. Just like my Chucky boy waits for me to wake up so he can have his morning cookie. Don't we, buds? Eh? Have a morning cookie. You know, that's actually why he loves me, because I give him treats. This world may belong to the young, but until that bittersweet end, us old dogs still have to live in it too. And, you know, we will always have something to teach these young pups, even if they think we've got nothing to offer. Maybe we don't need to learn any new tricks, but it may be time to brush off some of the old ones. So what do you think? What new tricks have you learned thanks to the new normal, or are you staying with the tried and true? Or are you one of the young pups that think us old dogs are a lost cause? Please enter your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions on how I can make this better, or topics you'd like me to discuss, please enter them in the comments too. If you like this, then please hit the like button. If you didn't, well, hit the like button anyway. Hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks. In the meantime, thank you for watching, stay safe, and have a great day, everyone. Now say goodbye to the nice people.